I want my wife, my kids, my family, my sister with her family, my brother with his family. I want my parents. I want all our loved ones to live a happy and healthy life. And I want to achieve all these things for them in order for all of us to just enjoy and be able to live life to its fullest, like it was designed for us humans to live it. But wanting is not enough. A lot of us just focus on the wants. But not so many of us have our dues in check. Not so many of us focus on what we have to do in order to get the wants, the desired outcomes. All these things that we say we want to achieve, all these things that we say we're going to get for us, for our loved ones, for the people that look up to us, what we're going to do. Basically, we don't know how to stick to our promises. We don't know how to keep our word. And that's one hell of a valuable skill for a man, let alone for every single human being on this earth. If you cannot keep your word, then what are you made for? What are you bringing in this world? This is my new series that I'm going to begin, called DiMaggio Wisdom. And I'm going to just start speaking from my experiences, from my way of observing things throughout all my life, how I managed to get to the point where I am and how I managed to evolve so fast, how I managed to have this evolution, this development process so quick with others, with so many of my friends, so many of my family members just looking at me like they are worrying about me, thinking that something is wrong with me, thinking that I'm in a bad mental place when I'm feeling as sharp as I've ever felt. And you gotta feel the same. You gotta get to that point where, it's not just about, sorry, I just had to put some things on my car because I gotta get, it's too hot outside. I gotta put this on top of my car. And also some napkins. And until you get to the point where everybody's doubting your mental sanity, your sanity basically, your mental health, until everybody's not doubting your capacity of achieving what you said you are going to achieve, then you're not doing enough. And you gotta be doing enough. You gotta be doing more than enough. You gotta be willing to do more than enough, to put more reps than they're required to, because it's easy now. If any successful entrepreneur in this world can give you this framework, what you need to do, you will follow it. But trust me, those rules are not going to provide you the same level of outcomes that they provided to that entrepreneur in question at his time. Maybe in his time it worked well, but guess what? He did not have the same exact framework you have. He had some kind of framework, but he twisted something about it. He did something different to it. He just added his own real value to it. He didn't just focus on, trying to get the quickest outcomes and getting my business started, right? Because it's so easy. It's so easy to desire these things. It's so easy to just want to get successful as fast as possible. And I remember I was sitting 2 years ago just in this same parking, not exactly necessarily this same parking spot, but this is one of the biggest malls, if not the biggest malls in Bucharest, where I'm from, where I've grew up, where I've been born and so on. And I was sitting in 2024 thinking that I want to make a difference. I want to do something of my own. I want to bring my own value. And it's not something that hard, It's not too hard to bring your own value to this game. You're just looking at all these individuals and trying to do as much as you can as they do. And that's where your value just fades. You're not achieving the value that lays within yourself. You're just chasing the value that others are providing right now, and you're trying to use that value to reverse engineer it in order to get the most valuable outcome from it. But if the input is not valuable, how is the output going to be any different? It's really that easy. That easy, guys. It's so cold, it's so hot outside. Not cold, it's super hot. But I gotta finish this. I gotta wrap this video out. This video up. It's not going to take too much of your time. It's just a small introduction of some things. I don't think I'm going to keep this too long, to be honest. I might go with some like 20-30 minutes, but most of the time I'm trying to preach as much value as I can with my own way of understanding all these things that I've lived up until now and that I'm still living currently at this very moment, because life is happening to me right now as we speak. I'm not yet where I want to be. I'm still fighting for my first clients. I'm still fighting to get everything in place, but I'm doing the work. I'm not expecting something to be handed to me. I'm doing everything that's required of me. I'm doing everything that I know I need to be doing, not waiting for anybody to come and help me. That's when you start getting to doing and stop waiting for things to be done in order for you to achieve your wants, because that's the whole purpose of this video. We all want something, or many things actually. We all want many things, but when it comes to doing those things, we just find all these excuses. We try to find the shortest ways. We try to find just things that can make our journey even easier in order to get to our wants. And that's just like doing something in order to expect something out of it. I was just talking about it today on my Instagram. If you're new here, just follow me on my Instagram page, Stefan DiMaggio, T-G. I mean, that's how it spells. And I'm putting out a lot of value out there every single day. Many times a day, I'm just spitting facts, and I'm trying to give you as much game as possible about life overall, but especially to coaches, to people who try to, get into these coaching businesses, and they might have already started, but they don't really do the right things yet. They are just enough to put themselves on the market. But we know, like all these products that we see around us in this day and age, so many products are around us. To say that you don't have you can find something to choose is exactly what happens, because you are literally harassed. You are kind of abused. You are abused by choices. I actually have a video on this one about on this topic on my channel when I was running a few months ago, I think last month or 2 months ago. But the thing is, I was talking about how we all have so many products, so many choices around us, that it gets to the point where we are abused by them. We don't know what to choose anymore just because there are too many. And you feel like you still don't have that specific product, that specific thing that you want, that you desire, which is just an illusion. Why? Because we have so many things around us, and we cannot decide on whether one is perfect or the other, or just one that hasn't been invented yet. That's what happens with just the coaching business overall. You're just enough to put yourself on the market, like all these products, and just sit there, not doing anything special about it. And you really don't have to be doing anything too special, too fancy about it. You just have to put in the actual work. And by actual work, I mean the work of finding yourself, your truest identity. Finding who you are, what are you doing, and why are you doing it. Finding your identity is crucial to your coaching business, because without it, you're not going to be able to stand out in any way. You're not going to be able to help people out. You're just going to compete with all the other guys that you copy, that you try to replicate. And those guys, trust me, they have their own market, they have their own clients. You cannot compete with those, and you shouldn't. It's not about competing with the others. It's about making yourself as authentic as possible. And you cannot make yourself authentic when you are not even putting in the work to become an authentic self. And you already are an authentic self. It's hard for me to believe that if you are somewhere around 20 or older, even 18, if you're 17, 18, trust me, bro, there are all these kids out there these days at 16 that are trying to provide value. I'm not saying that every single kid is providing real value. Most of them are just good at marketing and they just put shit out there. So I'm sorry if you're a kid and you're trying to do something, but I'm not sorry in the same time, because this should be a wake-up call for you that you can stand out so much easier just by putting more value. Your competition right now is all the guys below 20. They are literally just trying to find all these shortcuts with marketing, not providing real value, because that real value is built through time, through uncomfortable moments. It requires the success, the real success, guys, the real compounding success that doesn't stop, requires a strong foundation. You cannot expect to build something so high up in the sky and this thin. It cannot happen. You gotta lay the foundation first, which is the most boring part, because you don't see any changes on the bigger picture. But because you're not looking from the right perspective, you should look from above to the ground and be like, holy fuck, bro, what's happening below me? How did I not see all this? It's such a mess. It's literally so much trash around here. I gotta get rid of, and I gotta build a real foundation. That's where the whole growth happens, because you architect from there up, not from up down. Or if you're trying to just architect from a certain level up, it's not going to happen. It's not. Maybe you're just going to benefit from some momentum, like a couple months, at max, at most, a year, even if that happens. But there are so many guys, so many scammers that get caught with this type of shady things. You gotta be willing to put your value and leverage it. But you're not going to put your value out there if you don't know your value in the first place, and you just try to replicate all the other guys' value. It's all about your identity and the level of respect that you pay to it throughout all your actions, all your decisions, throughout all your life. Because until you're not respecting your identity, nobody will. Why should I believe you are the guy who you say you are? Maybe I'm seeing you doing something, but you're still not respecting your identity. If I'm coming up to you right now and I'm telling you, I'll give you $10,000 a month in order to do this for me, which has nothing to do with your identity, you most probably would say yes, because you want those 10K a month and you think that yes, that's amazing. But you're not building your identity. You're building your identity around your opportunities instead of building your opportunities around your identity. That's the difference between a real successful entrepreneur that makes it in the long run and the ones who are just hustlers. How I like to call the hustlers are not going to make it. The hustlers are good enough just to have a lifestyle. But with the lifestyle, you're not creating something really impressive for your family, for your loved ones. You may just find a secret, a hack on living life kind of how you want it. But that's just like, just like a junkie for me, just like a 9 to 5 who does the average. They have so many skills, but they settle for so low just because of comfort. Guys, I'm telling you, comfort couldn't be a much, I don't know how to say, much dangerous drug. Much more, trust me. The thing is, comfort is the most toxic drug out there, which cannot be disallowed, cannot be banned, because it sits within yourself. It cannot be controlled by someone else. It cannot be, cured in any way. You have to dig deep within yourself and sit in those uncomfortable moments until you find your evolution and you stick to it. You build constantly new things with it. You're never sitting around in comfort. I'm not saying you should torture yourself, but once you are putting yourself in these uncomfortable spots, those will become an comfortable place. And that's the sweet spot, because then you will be able to relax in those uncomfortable spots, when before that you'd have looked at them like, holy bro, how can I cannot stay consistent on doing work in those uncomfortable spots 5 days straight. Now I can relax into them? Are you for real? Yeah, now you can relax in those uncomfortable spots that you were looking at before like hell, and now they are your newest comfort spot. You can relax into them now. Should you do that forever? No. Should you do that for a while, for a couple of days? Yeah, absolutely. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to enjoy all the beautiful things that God has laid here for us. Everything that God has put in this world for us was meant for us to enjoy it, but to enjoy it while working. After we've put something valuable into this world. You cannot take until you haven't given something. All of you just try to get something before you give something. That comes down to what I was saying in the beginning, and what I was also preaching on today's stories, and with my client on our today, on the one-on-one call we had today in this morning. And I was telling him, he asked me, what are you doing, bro? All this, what do you have to get out of this? And I was like, bro, this question doesn't have a real place, It's just a question that our ego likes to ask. Our ego always likes to see something tangible. Our ego always tries to get us in this unstable spot, so it has fun, it amuses itself based on our actions, our decisions. Imagine if you're going out there in your life about all these things that you're doing, always expecting something in return first. Always being like, okay, but what's in it for me if I'm doing this? What? How is this going to work? How is this going to work, bro? And I'm telling you, it all started with me back in 2020 when I had my first job. I was delivering food with Glovo. I don't know if you know it. Just search it up. It's one of the biggest businesses for delivery and all that, food delivery, whatever. And just as I finished high school, I was doing this for a month in order to pay for my for a mouse that I want to buy, for some headphones, gaming headphones, and for a keyboard, for a keyboard. Sorry, it's from all this heat. And then I have understood the value of work, how you gotta put in so much work and then you get something in return. But that was just the very first level, like the very, very, very first module of my life course. How I gotta go about things in order to become a better individual that puts out as much value as possible in this world, that can also after that receive even more. Then I went to my second job, which lasted a bit longer, 6 months, 5 months, something like that. I was working at this gym, and I was putting on all my life on it. I was trying to make so many changes, so many good changes. Nobody was paying attention to that because they thought I'm just a silly kid. They were literally saying, why are you not just trying to get your salary, your paycheck, and just go with it, And I was like, what? Are you happy just with that paycheck at the end of the month? What are you doing? What's the value that you add to this game? Everybody can come and take my place and do all this robotic shit, but I want to bring my value out to this game. And then I have finally realized that jobs are not for me. I've had other opportunities in jobs, but I did not go into those jobs with the mindset like I did in that gym. when I got hired at that gym, I was literally trying to build my way up. I want to become a manager. I want to become even greater than managers because I had this vision and I want to put out so much value, but it wasn't possible. So I decided, you know what? I don't need this shit. I'm going to work for my dreams and I'm going to make my own. I'm going to build my own empire. I'm not going to build any gym chain right now or anything like that. Don't think of that. But I want to build my whole empire based on my value, based on my this identity that sits within myself. I want to bring this out as much as possible into the world so that people can get as much value as they can from it. That's what you also got to do. That's what you have to be willing to do in order to get that success. That's the most fulfilling success. All the other ways of finding success are just fake. They're being sold to you because others are benefiting from it while tricking you into thinking that. And that's one of the most delusional things that you can buy into. But that being said, I really think we all are born to lead. That's my core philosophy. That's also my first stage in my coaching program. I'm basically offering coaching to other coaches, trying to provide as much value as they can through their programs to the right ones, to the people that actually can benefit from their help, not just trying to put themselves on the market. But I also help people overall just becoming better individuals. That's the first stage of my coaching program because it all starts with us as individuals. Coaching, entrepreneurs, business, whatever, all these are just other things that build up above it. But until you're not building your identity, your discipline, you cannot build anything on top of it. Or you can try, but you will fail, and you'll keep on asking yourself, why do I keep on failing? And you'll go with this mindset until like 40, 50, 60 years old, and you'll wonder what was wrong with me. Like I did work. Yeah, you most probably worked, but you did not work in the right direction. So that's what you got to do, and that's what Nato per guidare stands for. Nato per guidare means that we are all born to lead. All of us. We are all born to lead at least one person, at least one individual, and that is ourselves. And once we manage to lead ourselves, then we can become an even greater leader for others. So you as well, even if you're trying to get into coaching or just other business model, you just have to understand you got to become a leader of yourself first, so that you can get yourself sorted out, and then you can build on top of that. Check my Instagram, Stefan DiMaggio, T. You will see all the values that I'm preaching. You will see much more that I will put probably out here on YouTube. I want to keep this as a more closer circle for all the guys all the people that come in contact with my brand. I really suggest you be looking into all this stuff that it's on YouTube, because it's something much taught, much more taught in that select direction. It's not just something for everybody like on Instagram. It's not just top of funnel. Here is literally my rawest soul, my rawest thoughts that I'm trying to put out in order for you to gain something valuable out of it. And if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, just please let me know down in the comments what exactly would you like to, what are you facing right now in your life, because it helps me to understand how can I also bring my wisdom to other perspectives, to other lenses. But even if you're not commenting or anything like that, I'll still find ways of talking about my wisdom. This has been just the very first episode of just taking care of your dues before you expect everything to fall in your lap, because you have wants. We all have wants. We all want XYZ outcomes for us, for our loved ones. But it's about who does the real work, who really puts in the work. And not so many do that. I'm telling you this, not so many put in the work. And that's why you gotta do this. That's why you gotta put in the work, because that's how you're going to stand out. That's how you're going to become an amazing entrepreneur, a great entrepreneur, the entrepreneur you want. Because I bet if you saw this on your feed, if you're seeing this, if you watched this until now, then most probably you want to become a real leader, not just for building side hustles. You want to build something true at its core. You want to build something strong, a foundation so strong that is going to last for decades. Even if now it serves a certain business model and then it will extend to others, you don't have to think about that now. But you just have to think of building a strong foundation for all the business, for the whole business that you're trying to build, for all the businesses that you're trying to build. Who knows, maybe you're going to become the next trillionaire. You're going to surpass Elon Musk. But in order to do that, you got to take care of your dues. You got to keep your dues in check. And that's what I want to live with. That's what I want you to live with today. Just keep your dues in check. Stop dreaming of these ones. And remember, check my Instagram for more value. Stefan DiMaggio, T-D-G. Stefan DiMaggio, T-G. That's where you're going to find more of me every single day. I'll be trying to post here like twice a week, something like that. So I'm still going to be around here pretty often, but yeah, on Instagram I'm every day there. So just go and check my content out there as well. If you have any questions or you'd like to get started with becoming a better individual, becoming a better leader for yourself, so that later you can become also an even greater leader for others, just DM me on my Instagram and we'll have a direct chat. Don't worry, I respond personally to all my conversations, all the guys that text me. I just want to see an actual interest in it. I don't want you to just be like expecting I have to put all my effort if you're not willing to put in the effort. I will simply not care about it. But that being said, don't forget, nato per guidare, and I'll see you in the next one.